An autumn morning in central Chicago, and early voters are already forming a line outside a voting site in order to cast their ballots for the upcoming US presidential election. African American voters could be the key, especially in swing states.
No justice! No peace!
In recent months, the spotlight has fallen on issues around police brutality and systemic racism. Protests erupted across the country following a number of high-profile deaths and shootings by police officers. The COVID-19 pandemic has also significantly impacted African American and Latino populations more than others. Those issues are on the minds of many voters.
Life or death for me. Of course, there's the pandemic, but I don't think there's any ambiguity in this election. I think it comes down to either you care about people or you don't. You care about racial justice or you don't. You care about the environment or you don't. And I don't think you're fooling yourself if you think there's any ambiguity here.
Civil rights leader Jesse Jackson says there are a range of issues African American voters should be concerned about ahead of the election.
Healthcare, education, and economic opportunity. The Harris ticket with Joe Biden is a clear choice between Trump and Pence. Education is going from race-based to tax-based. It should be based on intrinsic worth, not just based on taxes. Because you never know who has that special genius, where it's coming from. It costs less to educate children than incarcerate them.
Although millions of people have now already voted in this election, voter turnout remains a key concern. 4 years ago, African American turnout declined significantly compared to 2012. Hence, various initiatives across the country aiming to mobilize black voters this time round. One of those initiatives in Chicago is the Action Now Institute. It aims to engage voters and work for racial, social, and economic justice.
It's about getting people to a space where they can build a collective vision for themselves, not just for today, but for the next generation, the next 10 years, because that's what we need to be focused on. Like politics, civic engagement isn't just about an election period, isn't just about a singular campaign. It's about building a world that we actually want to be proud of.
There is a lot on the line for US voters this November, but in a year that has been dominated by protests about racial injustice, the African American voice could have a major say on the election outcome. Dan Williams, CGTN, Chicago.